Hey. Welcome to the Rundown with Ramon. My name is Ramon Ray, publisher of zoneofgenius.com, and I'm so glad you're here today. This is a special edition of the Rundown with Ramon. We're going to get into the nitty-gritties, give or take, about should you even be in business, starting your business. That's one question I'm asked quite a bit, or asked even after people start their business. Ramon, should I be in business? Should I start my own business? Is this for me? And I hope this special edition of the Rundown with Ramon helped you do that. Ironically speaking, I've started 5 companies, sold 3 companies, authored 5 books. Do I know everything there is to know about starting and growing a business? Probably not. And I doubt everyone does, because part of that is the unknown. But I can say, after having started companies, gotten financing, hired people, let go of people, hired family, didn't work with family, built marketing campaigns, press releases, built websites, had to define who my customer was. As I mentioned, sold 3 companies and things like this. I think I can say that I know a little bit what it takes to start and grow a business. And I thought this episode of the Rundown with Ramon would be great. Normally speaking, and thanks for those of you who may be new to Rundown with Ramon, we go over 30 minutes at the top 10 things to live your best life or grow your business. But I thought today, since life and business, life and entrepreneurship, life and family and other things go hand in hand, this could be a special edition of the Rundown with Ramon to talk about, should you even be in business? If you're listening to the sound of my voice, watching this show, thanks for being here. I encourage you, DM me on Instagram, reach out and say hi. Find me on LinkedIn, find me on Threads, find me on Twitter, find me on Facebook, find me across the platforms, and let me know you're watching. Let me know how I can serve and help you. But let's jump into our point numero uno with a special edition of why even should you start a business? And I think one thing to think about, as you see right in the screen in front of you, is the aspect of craving the freedom and impact you can make. Now, people say that starting your own business, you can be your own boss. To some degree, that is the correct thing. You can be your own boss. But make no mistake about it. Even if you have your own business, one of your bosses is the IRS. Are you putting your money aside? And as Mike Michalowicz talks about, keeping profit first. So I think the main reason you want to have your own business, as Seth Godin talks about quite a bit, is that creativity, the freedom to sell what you want, the freedom to whom you want, and the freedom to work with those you want under the conditions that you wish. This doesn't mean that all things are going to be nirvana. Doesn't mean that all things are going to be easy. But this does mean that's part of the freedom you get to choose, is quote unquote being your own boss, charting your own course, charting your own destiny, not necessarily to a destination not known, but in some ways, maybe it is like that. Charting your own course, where you want to go, where the destination may take you or not. So that's one thing you want to think about as you're considering starting your own business. But do understand, starting your own business is fraught with difficulty. And are you ready, as we wrote here, to trade the stability of a check for the chance to shape your own destiny? If so, I invite you, jump on in. So why would you want, though, to stay in a full-time job? And I can say for sure, as one who's had a full-time job for a number of years at the United Nations, there is nothing like the taste of getting a check every 2 weeks, unless you're fired, which is a real thing. But if you're not fired and you have a job, you get a check every 2 weeks. That can be an amazing proposition. And of course, you get to work with a team, with a company that already has the road mapped out. You're part of a team. You're part of a system that's already been built for you. You're just stepping into that road and maybe doing it better, doing it different, but you're working within an existing team. So there's benefits to staying in a full-time job. It has the stability, the structure, the immediate financial security. It allows you to hone specific skills and gain valuable experience, and maybe, just maybe climb the proverbial corporate ladder for career advancement within an established system. Now, we're working for yourself. There's no career advancement like that. There's nothing you can do like that yourself. The career advancement is you grow your business, you nurture a team, you get new customers, get better customers, increase the profitability of your business and make more money for yourself to make a bigger impact on the world, make a bigger impact in the community, and maybe have a better standard, a different standard of living for your family. It's important that you ask yourself, it's important that you dig down deep and understand, do you love what you do, whether in a corporation or in your own business, but do you love what you do? And before we go on, for those who just joined in, this is The Rundown with Ramon. My name is Ramon Ray. Thank you so much for listening to the sound of my voice and watching this show. I appreciate you. Feel free to connect with me. You can get to know me better at RamonRay.com. DM me on Instagram, Ramon Ray Smart Hustle. Let me know you're watching The Rundown with Ramon. So ask yourself, do you love what you do? The saying goes, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. I don't know who said that, but somebody a gazillion years ago. Now, in many ways, that saying is absolutely splendidly true for sure. If you're passionate about what you do, and you're putting your focus and energy into it, you won't feel like working a day at all. Yet I must say, many people use the ideology as an excuse. They use an excuse to buffer in, well, I'm just going to stay here or I'm not. But it's very important to understand, do you love what you do? Because if you love your job, you love what you're doing at your job, I see there's really no shame in not staying there. You might as well stay there. If you love what you do, you're getting good payment, and people are treating you well, why not stay there? That's a good question, huh? Why not? But here's the thing that comes. If you don't love what you do, if you don't like where you're at, now that is a different ball game where you may want to change. Now, be careful of jumping out of the pan into the fire, because having your own business may not solve that, and you may be in a place where you don't like what you do and you don't wake up every day. You don't wake up every other day happy where you're at. Understand that entrepreneurship, the road to entrepreneurship, is not easy. It is fraught with difficulty and pain. Marie Forleo, in her book, Everything is Figure Outable. Why is it every time I look for a book, here it is, Everything is Figure Outable? She touches on that to a degree in saying, if you're in entrepreneurship, you have to learn to figure things out by yourself. You have to learn to figure things out by yourself and get it done. And it's not always going to be easy. The allure of freedom and potential rewards is very strong for sure. But understand that entrepreneurship, it demands a lot of sacrifices. There's a lot of long hours that it may take. There's that uncertainty at times that it takes until, of course, you build the flywheel of business and things are humming along relatively well. But the financial risk can be difficult, especially when starting out. And even when starting out, you could lose so much of it, even as you're growing your business. The test is there every single time. And the question that I have to ask you on this episode of The Rundown with Ramon, can you stomach it? Can you take it? Do you have the fortitude, the strength to understand and take it? That is the question you want to ask yourself, because entrepreneurship is not for everyone. There's something about having a steady paycheck that it's nice when you have a regular full-time job. Now, if your business is humming along well, and I hope it is, then you get that steady paycheck. But the dirty little secret that most people don't tell you, lean in close. The dirty little secret that many people will not tell you is that oftentimes there's many a day where you do not pay yourself. People may not tell you that. There may be days where you're not paying yourself, days where other people are getting paid, days where you will need to eat last. This is the question you have to ask yourself. Are you ready for that? Are you going to miss having that little nice steady paycheck every 2 weeks, every week, whatever it may be that you get? Think about that. It's a real thing to consider. Now, a steady paycheck isn't just money in the bank, of course. It's a foundation for the security and peace of mind and having a home and dreaming bigger and having that steady paycheck. So you may want to sit back and say, God, thank you for the stability. Thank you for the steady paycheck that I have. Because when you come, baby, to the side of entrepreneurship, it may not be as easy as you think. Again, everybody, my name is Ramon Ray. This is The Rundown with Ramon. And I'm so glad you're here today. Without you, it'd be a really lonely show. And I'm glad you're here on The Rundown with Ramon, a special edition, talking to you all about, should you leave your day job? Should you start your own business? Asking the tough questions to help you decide, should you choose the life of entrepreneurship? And frankly, only you can decide that. I'd love to hear your stories. Are you somebody who's had a full-time job who was either fired or who left to start your own business? Are you somebody who has your own business now and went back to a full-time job? Are you somebody who has a full-time business right now and you're struggling? If you are, definitely be in touch with me and let me know. I'd love to see how I can help you. But again, this is Rundown with Ramon. My name is Ramon Ray, talking about a steady paycheck, starting with a side hustle. This is good, and this is how, in fact, I started my business while working at the United Nations. Well, I was in business already, but while there, I had a side hustle. I had side things I was doing, which carried me, before I got fired from the United Nations, into having full-time entrepreneurship. But I didn't just make a boop, hard cut and do it. I had some cushion. I had some clients. I had some money in the bank. And this may be something you want to do as well, starting with a side hustle. A side hustle can be a great stepping stone, in fact, to solo entrepreneurship. You don't have to do it all at once. Why is a side hustle good for you? Well, it lets you test the waters. Before you go headlong into full-time entrepreneurship, you may want to test things out and see if this journey in reality is for you. Because you know what? It may not be for you. You may be making a mistake, so you may want to test the waters first and see if it's for you. Having a side hustle and having a full-time business, you can kind of practice those skills, validate your business idea, get your first client or two without jeopardizing the steady income that you have. You may want to think of it as a training ground, offering valuable experience and insights before taking the full plunge into entrepreneurship and not being able to go back. Now, the mindset you need to have for entrepreneurship, the mindset you need to have for business is very, very important. Yes, the tactics of marketing are important. Yes, the tactics of sales are important. Yes, hello, right there. The tactics of operations are important. Yes, the tactics of hiring the right team are important, and all the things. Yes. But also what's important is understanding the mindset for entrepreneurial success. Are you ready to take things to the next level in your business? Are you ready to do that? The mindset you need is like a trap door, is like a muscle. I don't even know how to describe it, but it's so important. There are many days where you may be sitting alone in your office in tears, like I am right now here in Zone of Genius Studios. Many days where people around you do not understand the journey of entrepreneurship that you're on. You're just alone in doing it. There may be days, in fact, where people don't understand you, where you don't understand yourself, and you're wondering, did you make a mistake? Did you? You may be wondering, did you make a mistake? So the mindset for entrepreneurship is, I would dare say, everything. A few points to consider, maybe some I said already. But building a thriving business demands more than just a great idea. Ooh, my cookies taste good. I sold them at my church picnic. I sold them to my family, and I sold them to the Boy Scouts. No, it doesn't work that way. There's the execution of business that happens. The marketing, the branding, the sales, getting a customer to say yes, and then doing it again and 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 again. It requires a bit of resiliency. It requires some tough work, a growth mindset, and this insatiable appetite to desire to learn. This is what it takes to build a successfully thriving business. And if you don't have that, I would dare say you will not survive the journey of entrepreneurship, because the road, my friends, is fraught with fear and is tough. That's just it. The road is fraught with fear, and it's massively, massively tough. Again, those of us joined, my name is Ramon Ray, publisher of zoneofgenius.com, five-time entrepreneur, sold 3 companies, authored 5 books, interviewed all 5 sharks of Shark Tank and President Obama, done some really cool things in my life, here to help you start and grow your business or just live your best life on the Rundown with Ramon, doing a special edition of the Rundown with Ramon, helping you decide, should you leave your day job? Should you start a business? Or what should you do? Risk tolerance. If you want to be a successful entrepreneur, you have to deal with and be satisfied with risk. If you don't like risk, stay in a day job, but risk is important. Risk tolerance isn't a binary switch. It's a spectrum. Knowing your comfort level with uncertainty is crucial. Are you comfortable not knowing how things will shape up, how they'll turn out? In fact, I would dare say, can you stomach short-term clips or dips rather? Can you stomach short-term dips and clips for long-term gains? Do you see the roadmap ahead? Can you envision the roadmap ahead and make it happen for you? Ask yourself, maybe, are you okay with calculated risks? Or really, do you like that smooth path of stability? Because that smooth path of stability is not offered in the world of entrepreneurship. It's a painful, hard road oftentimes. Now, the joys are there: high risk, high reward. Many of us do have high reward. We like the profit we make. We can sell our companies. We can live the life we want, work on the time we want, as I said before. But in order to get there and get that place, it takes a bit of effort. And I encourage you all to understand the personal tolerance that you have to help you make informed decisions about the path ahead. There's this thing that people say, I want to start a business because I want to be my own boss. Well, guess what? You're not your own boss. Sorry to break it to you. You got your family to report to. You got the government to report to. You got your customers to report to. You got your team to report to. You got your mental health to report you. Everybody's pulling at you. So I go what it means. I can do what I want and stick it to the man. I'm my own boss. Well, you may not be able to stick it to the man because you got market trends that dictate something. You got regulations that dictate something. You have unforeseen things that dictate something. This is the life of entrepreneurship. And my question to you, my friends, is, can you take it? Because if you can't, then I'm sorry to tell you, well, I'm not sorry to tell you, but then entrepreneurship, in fact, may not be for you because you may not be able to take it. You have to know your market and competition. As you're beginning, as you're in your world of entrepreneurship, are you willing to understand who your competition is? You need to know them better than you know maybe your own company, as it were. But understand who your audience is. Who are you speaking to? Who are you serving? Who are you helping? Have you researched your customers? Have you just sat down and talk with your customers, understanding their needs and existing competitors, understanding the demand for your product or service, and how you'll stand out is absolutely, absolutely critical to the survival of your business. Understanding who are you selling, what problem are you solving for them, how will you find them and help them get to the next level. Do you understand the numbers of entrepreneurship? What is your profit margin? What does it cost you to get a customer? What's the lifetime value of a customer? What is a customer worth to you? What's the employee turnover like in your business if you're in a business like that? What's the sales cycle length of your business? What's the profit margin of what you're selling? Are you going to be in need to be in debt to run your business or not? Business plans are good, but you got to make sure you do a business plan right. Your startup costs, your operating costs, your ongoing costs, your fixed expenses, your projected revenue, potential profitability. Understanding the numbers in your business is important, and I beg you to go out right now. I beg you to go out and read my friend Mike Michalowicz' book, Profit First. This book will change your life. A legal structure should be made. What is the legal structure that you're going to need to design the business that you want? Is it going to be an LLC? Is it going to be proprietorship? Is it going to be a corporation? Now, there's different tax implications for each one, and you need to understand these. I want you to be in business to make a profit and do well in your company, in your life, for your family. But understand the tax structure, the legal structure for your business, LLC, S Corp, C Corp, and other things in between. Understand it. Do you understand the language of money? We talked about some of this earlier when I talked about understanding finances. But are you able to read a financial statement? Do you understand the key metrics of sales and cost and cash flow and profit margins? Do you understand this language? Are you comfortable with these things? Now, you may not be comfortable with everything at any one given time, but you need to start. And part of this being comfortable is, are you comfortable hiring the right people? To identify skills and personalities you need for success. Consider hiring and outsourcing, partnering with reliable individuals or companies. This is important as well. You may want to hire people directly. You may want to outsource this to an agency that gives you freelancers. You may want to hire it to an agency that gives you more full-time-ish workers. Many ways to do this, but build a team to help you build the business that you want. And I encourage you, embrace the roller coaster ride of entrepreneurship. It's not an easy ride, but you can do it if you're expecting the bumps, if you're expecting the things that may not go right. Rarely is this journey smooth, very rarely. But I encourage you to embrace the challenges and learn from the mistakes that you will make and the mistakes of others. There's going to be obstacles in the road there, but I encourage you to embrace them and learn on them. And as we always say on the Rundown with Ramon, I encourage you to be so clear on what you really want, to be clear on it. What do you want in business? What do you want in life? Ask yourself, do you even want to be in business? Understand, this is not Shark Tank. There's no commercial break. There's no do-over. The tears don't get the IRS to get off your back. This is life, and you need to understand that. And I like to say that we need to have some hunger in us. We need to have some thirst in us to get to where we want to get. What are your prices like? Are you selling at a premium? Or are you the cheapest vendor on the market? And last but not least, I want you to ask yourself, what do you do best? What do you do best? Is it time for you to reach out and make the world a better place with the talents and skills that you have? Maybe full-time entrepreneurship is for you. Maybe entrepreneurship, working as an entrepreneur minded with a bigger company, is best for you. Whatever works for you, though, I want you to go get it done. My name is Ramon Ray. This is The Rundown with Ramon. DM me on Instagram, connect with me on LinkedIn, reach out and say hi to me. Get to know me better at RamonRay.com and let me know how I can serve you. This is The Rundown with Ramon, where we help you live your best life or grow your business, a special edition about starting your business. Have an amazing day. Go out and let somebody know that you care about them and that they matter, because you matter too. Have an amazing day. Thank you so much.